Self-compassion is caring for ourselves as we would care for someone we truly love. It includes the elements of self-kindness, a sense of common humanity, and mindfulness. Okay, so give yourself a couple of minutes for a short awareness practice. I invite you to just take a pause, and you can close your eyes if that is comfortable, or soften your gaze, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just take a moment to notice what you're thinking about right now, or what you're feeling. Be curious. Are you feeling stressed? Maybe you're hopeful. What are the thoughts that are going on? Maybe you're thinking about what happened before this, or what will happen later. Give yourself a moment to notice what is happening in your body right now. Maybe starting off by wiggling your toes a little bit, just feeling the soles of your feet, where your feet are touching the ground. You may want to shift a little bit in your chair, wherever you're seated, noticing the weight of your bottom in the chair. Just noticing whatever you feel in your body right now. Pleasant sensations, unpleasant sensations, neutral, warmth, coolness. And then turning your attention for just a moment towards anywhere where there's maybe some discomfort. Might be a little tightness or constriction. Taking a moment to notice that discomfort. Oh, I feel that in this part of my body. And if you like, you can put your hand on that part of your body. Or maybe just let your heart soften a little bit. Offering yourself a little comfort because of the stress or tension. Knowing that all of us with our human bodies sometimes have discomfort. It's part of having a human body. And taking another moment to broaden your attention, perhaps noticing your breathing or the sound of my voice or the sounds of the room where you are right now. And then bringing your awareness back to the sense of your bottom in the chair, where your body is touching the chair, the soles of your feet, maybe wiggling your toes again a little bit. And if your eyes are closed, you can open them, welcoming yourself back into the room. So that brief meditation contains the elements of mindful self-compassion. We stop for a moment. How often do we do that in daily life, right? We pause to notice what is going on in our minds and our hearts and our bodies. We looked for where we are struggling, and we brought our attention to the stress in the body, the discomfort, and we opened ourselves up to kindness, remembering that we are not alone in those sort of experiences. Thank you. The Mindful Self-Compassion Program was developed a decade ago by Drs. Kristen Neff and Chris Germer. There are over 1,400 articles about mindful self-compassion. They've found that it leads to increases in mindfulness, compassion for others, decreases in depression, anxiety, stress, and emotional avoidance, increases in social connectedness, life satisfaction, and happiness. There are several skills and components involved in building mindful self-compassion: self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness versus over-identification with our thoughts. And then there's the yin and yang of self-compassion. The yin is the more nurturing, comforting, and soothing part. And yang is the supportive, motivating, protecting, and providing part. Kristin Neff has another book coming out on fierce self-compassion, which emphasizes the yang part of self-compassion. Self-esteem can be defined as a global evaluation of self-worth. It is often based on comparisons with others and tends to be contingent on success. Self-compassion, however, does not entail evaluations of good or bad, but simply involves relating to yourself kindly, especially when you fail or notice personal shortcomings. That means self-compassion is always available. It doesn't desert us when we fail, and it fosters feelings of social connectedness rather than social comparison. Research shows that compared with self-esteem, self-compassion provides a more stable sense of self-worth over time. It is also linked to less social comparison and narcissism. Some people think that self-compassion is a form of self-pity or weak, selfish, self-indulgent, a form of making excuses, or that it will undermine motivation. But research has shown otherwise. Self-compassionate people are no less likely to have high personal standards. They just don't beat themselves up when they fail, and they're more likely to persist in their efforts. Self-compassion is a great self-care tool and practice in building resilience. Paul Gilbert defines compassion as the deep awareness of the suffering of oneself and other living beings, coupled with the wish and effort to alleviate it. So you could apply compassion to taking care of yourself to protect yourself from future suffering. There are many descriptions of mindfulness. Jon Kabat-Zinn defines it as the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment to moment. Chris Germer defines it as awareness of the present moment with acceptance. Research suggests that people spend up to half of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they're doing, and this mind wandering typically makes them unhappy. We get stuck in habitual patterns of thinking about ourselves, others, and the world, and this is the cause of a lot of suffering. Mindfulness is a practice that grows over time. It's paying attention to the moment-to-moment details of experience, paying attention to the body and one's experience of it, recognizing the experience of mind and not getting caught in memories of the past or plans for the future, trying neither too much nor too little, letting go of distractions and paying attention to the present moment, and noticing one's experience without judging it. If self-compassion practice feels like work, then that's not self-compassion. Self-compassion should feel like letting go. Self-compassion provides the emotional safety needed to mindfully open to our pain. There are a number of exercises to practice self-compassion. One of them is to think about how you might respond to a friend who is struggling. What might you say to them? What tone would you use? And how does that compare with how you talk to yourself when you're struggling? One easy way to care for and comfort ourselves is supportive touch. Touch activates the parasympathetic nervous system to help us calm down and feel safe. It may feel awkward at first, but your body doesn't know that. It just responds to the physical gesture of warmth and care. Our skin is sensitive. Physical touch releases oxytocin, provides a sense of security, soothes distressing emotions, and eases cardiovascular stress. You might like to try to place a hand over your heart, feeling the gentle pressure of warmth of your hand. If you wish, you can place both hands on your chest, noticing the difference between one and two hands. Feel the natural rising and falling of your chest as you breathe in and breathe out. Some other possibilities are, of course this is with clean hands, place one hand on your cheek, cradling your face in your hands, gently stroking your arms, crossing your arms and giving yourself a gentle squeeze. Hopefully you can develop the habit of physically comforting yourself when needed, taking full advantage of this surprisingly simple and straightforward way to feel kind to ourselves. Another exercise is to make an active effort to soften the self-critical voice and reframe the observations made by your inner critic in a friendly, positive way. These full exercises are available on Kristin Neff's website. It's helpful to also engage in on-the-job self-care. When you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, when the person you're caring for is having a rough time, you might try to give yourself soothing words of support. I know this is hard right now, and it's only natural that you're feeling so stressed. I'm here for you. Or else you might try using soothing touch or self-compassion break. This allows you to keep your heart open and help you care for and nurture yourself at the same time you're caring for and nurturing others. It's nice to remember that self-compassion is a practice of goodwill, not good feelings. In other words, even though friendly, supportive stance of self-compassion is aimed at the alleviation of suffering, we can't always control the way things are. If we use self-compassion practice to try to make our pain go away by suppressing it or fighting against it, things will likely just get worse. With self-compassion, we mindfully accept the moment and embrace ourselves with kindness and care in response, remembering that imperfection and disappointment is part of the shared human experience. This allows us to hold ourselves in love and connection, giving ourselves the support and comfort we need to bear the pain while providing optimal conditions for growth and change. Kristin Neff notes that some people find when they begin to practice self-compassion, their pain actually increases a little bit at first. Backdraft is a term that firefighters use to describe how a fire can grow when fresh air is introduced through an open door. A similar process can occur when we open the door of our hearts. Love goes in and old pain comes out. Fortunately, we can meet old pain with the resources of mindfulness and self-compassion, and the heart will naturally begin to heal. Allow ourselves to be slow learners when practicing self-compassion. The most self-compassionate response may be to pull back, focus on the breath, or engage in ordinary acts of self-care, such as having a cup of tea or petting the cat, giving ourselves what we need in the moment, and planting seeds of compassion. Ideally, every moment of self-compassion involves less stress, striving, and work. It has the sound of relaxation, of tenderness. If you can sit quietly after difficult news, if in a financial downturn you remain perfectly calm, if you see your neighbors travel to different places without a tinge of jealousy, if you can happily eat whatever is put on your plate, if you can love everyone around you unconditionally, if you can always find contentment just where you are probably a dog. That's from Jack Kornfield. Be patient with yourself and have fun. You can go to Kristin Neff's or the Center of Mindful Self-Compassion websites and listen to recorded meditations on self-compassion, and check below for additional links and resources. Thank you.